The massive Switch eShop Christmas sale is here, and it is simply, for me, too good to ignore. So today, I've got 10 fantastic games to share with you all, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU, and Australia. Plus, later in the video, I have 2 winners to announce for 2 $10 eShop gift cards. Plus, I have 2 more to give away to enter. Drop a comment down below, and those winners, they'll be announced in next Saturday's video. Now, I know this video is a little late, but do not worry, our regular schedule, it will be back this Saturday. Plus, you can look forward to a bonus deals video this Friday, so you're going to be getting deals Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Finally, if you do enjoy deals, reviews, and lists, be sure to subscribe, helps out the channel a huge amount. Also, if you like the idea of this same format for PlayStation, check out PlayStation Corner, I'll link it down below. Alright, let's get into the deals. SIFU is 60% off, matching its lowest price. It's a unique and intense action game with a strong narrative backbone. Now, the story follows a young martial artist on a quest for revenge, seeking out those responsible for their family's death. As you confront each target, the game explores themes of vengeance, discipline, and also the cost of obsession. And the gameplay then is structured around fluid and precise hand-to-hand combat. You're going to need to master basically timing, positioning, and combos to take on waves of enemies in a series of beautifully designed levels. The game's unique twist then is its aging mechanic. Every time you do die, you age, gaining more strength at the cost of health and flexibility. I'm a big fan of this game. I will link my review down below, but the combat is absolutely fantastic. Sure, there are moments in it where the frame rate struggles momentarily, shall we say, but it's still a really good port. It's really challenging, but that combo and combat system in general is just absolutely incredible. The Land Beneath Us is 30% off a new low price. It's a strategy action game set in a mythological underworld. Now, you play as the ultimate soul harvester, armed with soul technology, and you are on, let's say, a mission of redemption. Along the way, you'll be exploring the underworld, meeting unique characters, and deciding whether to engage, barter, or confront them, shaping your path through their tales. This is such a unique game. I think it flew under the radar for many, and transparently I did a sponsored video for it, but it's been one of my favourite indies of the year. The gameplay is basically this concept of if you move, your enemies move, and it's all based on a grid system, so you can move 4 directions, up, down, left, right. Each direction though has a weapon attached, so when you do move, you will hack, shoot, whatever it may be. I tell you what though, it's incredibly addictive, and I just kept on coming back for basically one more go again and again, because you have to kind of make your way through a set of levels before the game actually allows you to, continue progressing. Crow Country is 10% off a new low price. This is the game's first ever sale. It's a survival horror adventure, and it takes you to the abandoned Crow Country theme park where I guess these almost whimsical surroundings mask a far darker truth. There is nothing creepier than, in my eyes at least, than a abandoned theme park. Now, you're playing as Mara Forrest. Your arrival disrupts the silence, forcing you to venture deep into the darkness for answers. The gameplay mixes exploration, puzzle solving, and survival elements. And yeah, expect to be backtracking, piecing together the mystery of why the park's owner, Edward, shut it down, and also, where did he disappear to? I think this game is really good fun. It's filled with monsters. It's kind of like influenced by old school Resident Evil, this one. It is isometric, however. The targeting can be a little bit awkward at times, I will say that. But if you just want the narrative with this game, one thing I really do like, there's actually a less tense experience called Exploration Mode. It basically lets you explore without the fear of attacks. It removes all of those different monsters, and the story is actually really enjoyable. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on this game as well, I actually recently did a video with SwitchUp for their 12 Days of Christmas, I think it is, Hidden Gems, so I'll link that one down below. Oh, actually as well, I'll drop my review down there as well for you all. Thanks to Untold Tales for sponsoring today's video with their latest release, the incredible Chernobylite. Now, I played this on PlayStation originally, loved it. It's this unforgettable mix of survival horror, RPG elements, and atmospheric exploration set in one of the most meticulously crafted environments out there. Now, the story, it follows Igor, a physicist returning to the Chernobyl exclusion zone decades after the disaster. He's on a personal mission to uncover the truth about his fiance's mysterious disappearance. See how the game's blending emotional storytelling with layers of conspiracy, and it's a narrative where your choices actually shape the outcome. What really, though, in my opinion, sets Chernobylite apart is its authenticity. The developers spent days scanning the actual exclusion zone to ensure every detail, from the remnants of the era to the eerie kind of Chernobyl power plant. It's all as realistic as possible. The result, though, for me, just an incredibly immersive world full of tension and Not just the actual narrative itself, but there's a lot of environmental storytelling taking place here. Gameplay-wise then, it's a rewarding mix of survival mechanics, base building and tactical planning. You'll recruit a team of allies, craft tools and weapons, and manage resources, but be extremely careful. Out in the zone then, you'll face stealth challenges, intense combat encounters, and this constant struggle to stay one step ahead of all of the danger. Then here is the deal, the best part. Right now, Chernobylite is 33% off as part of its launch discount, running through the end of the year. But if you own another Untold Tales game, you can actually grab it for a massive 50% off. An amazing deal in my opinion for a standout game. Plus there's actually some great paid DLCs available, including weapon skins, a soundtrack, a digital art book, and if you want to basically take the experience one step further, that is where you should turn. Alright, huge thanks to Untold Tales for sponsoring today's video, and now back to the deals. Shinobi Non Grata is 30% off and new at a low price. If you're a fan of old school and Ninja Gaiden, this is going to be right up your alley. It is a hardcore 2D action platformer that embraces retro graphics and classic fast-paced gameplay. It is set then in 1838 during a turbulent era in Japan, and you play as Kaina, a skilled shinobi from the Fuma clan. You're basically tasked with stopping the Oboro Ito clan, who have allied with demons to overthrow the government. So you'll be cutting your way through waves of enemies, and of course facing off against massive bosses as you fight to restore peace. Now my review is down below. Really enjoyed this one as well. It's got that old school vibe as I mentioned. The soundtrack is absolutely killer too. I love the visual style generally. It's really kind of vibrant in its design. But I think most importantly what makes it so unique is, yes, it is very old school, but it has some modern sensibilities. The weapon selection at the top of the screen, you've actually got different kind of gadgets, tools that you can use to your advantage, and I really like kind of that slight tweak to the old school Ninja Gaiden formula. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition is 50% off, matching its lowest price, and for fans of RPGs, this is one of the best you can get on the Switch. Sure, it's taken a massive visual hit compared to other platforms, but in my opinion, it's one of those impossible port situations that's just incredibly impressive, and I think it fully captures the depth of the experience. Now the story places you in this really unique fantasy world where you choose to create a character with unique abilities and a complex backstory. You're marked though as a sorcerer, hunted and feared for your ability to manipulate source magic, and your journey will see you uncovering hidden truths, forging alliances and deciding the fate of the world. It's a really fun narrative, loads of branching paths, there's morally ambiguous choices and just tons of replayability, especially for the fact it features multiplayer. And yeah, the gameplay just generally then, it's a masterclass in tactical, turn-based combat with endless freedom to experiment. You'll also have, of course, elements outside of combat as well, exploration, dialogue, party interactions, all really good fun. And yeah, I think this is a standout for fans of story-rich, deep RPGs. Last time I saw you then is my pickup of the week, meaning it is not a recommendation, maybe you'll want to join me for the ride however, but at 35% off, a new low price. I've seen it was critically loved, but kind of flew under the radar for many, including myself, so I'm finally checking it out. Now I will circle back with my thoughts before this sale ends, but for now, here's what it's all about. It's set in 1980s Japan. It is a coming-of-age narrative adventure following Ayumi as he faces his first steps into adulthood and confronts a mysterious curse affecting his hometown. It's a story of love, family, self-discovery, and the characters that are inspired by Japanese mythology. Now the gameplay then promises to feature 2D exploration, light action elements, environmental puzzles, and collectibles. You'll also meet then a pretty large cast, a mix of school friends, quirky townsfolk, and mythical creatures like samurai, crows, and kappas, as Ayumi navigates the trails of adolescence. Love the look of the visuals then too, big fan of hand-drawn, and that seems what the game is basically rocking here. Warm Snow is 40% off, matching its lowest price. It's a game I'm a big fan of, and this roguelike action adventure set in an oriental dark fantasy world inspired by Chinese folklore, delivering fast-paced combat, stunning visuals, and a haunting narrative, though it is kind of, I guess, left up to interpretation, will we say. But the narrative unfolds basically in the Longwu era, where an unmounting warm snow is plunged into the world of chaos, transforming people into monstrous creatures. Now you play as Bayan, a mysterious warrior tasked with confronting the corrupted Five Houses and ultimately defeating the White Lotus to uncover the truth behind this warm snow and free the world from this plague. Now look, the story actually I found really entertaining, but with this one I think you're coming for the gameplay. The combat is just killer. The character builds as you progress, they just get incredibly powerful, and then those visuals, I don't know, like the white snow, the blood everywhere, it just looks incredibly impressive. It's topped off then as well with a really nice soundtrack. So yeah, check out my review in the pinned comment below, because I think this one doesn't quite get the love and respect it deserves, and I really hope we see now, I guess, some sort of follow-up in the future, because it absolutely deserves. I'd love to see how they could evolve it moving forward. Dredge Deluxe Edition is 50% off a new low price and at only $1 more, or your regional equivalent, of course, above the base game. I think it's a great deal, thanks to the included DLC. Sure, it's not game-changing, but there's a few nice little things in there. But yeah, this is an atmospheric fishing adventure with a sinister twist. You're captain, like basically a ship across a series of remote islands during the daytime, but then in the evening, that's where you start to uncover the dark secrets. So yeah, basically by day fish, upgrade your boat, complete quests for the locals. By night, these waters become a much more dangerous place filled with mysterious and haunting threats. The narrative then does build as you explore. It's kind of a mix of folklore, horror, and personal tales tied to each of these different regions. Then the DLC expands the experience with the arterial engine, a grotesque device powered by a pulsing heart, and the Sign of Ruin, a talisman that draws attention from otherworldly forces. I think the only thing I can add with this one is, if you're kind of like, I'm not really into fishing games, no, nor was I. This game's world is absolutely incredible. The way it builds its narrative through the characters you meet, the creepy visual design, honestly, put that thought of the fishing aside, because this is one of the most impressive indies out there, in my opinion. It really is. Like, it hooked me the moment I picked it up to the moment I put it down. I'd say definitely watch a review first, because a lot of mechanics, a lot of kind of menu-based systems as well. But yeah, again, gonna say it again, a really special game. Deliver Us the Moon is 40% off a new at low price. It's a sci-fi thriller that combines atmospheric storytelling with engaging gameplay. Now, it's set in a near-future Earth where natural resources are depleted and you play as a lone astronaut on a mission to the moon. Basically, you're looking for resources. What is, however, supposed to be here is a lunar colony. This was once the key to humanity's energy supply, but it's gone silent, so it's now up to you to uncover what happened and then save mankind from extinction. The narrative explores real-world themes of, resource scarcity, environmental collapse, but it's all wrapped up in this really fun, suspenseful kind of cinematic experience almost. The gameplay then switches between first and third person perspectives, and yeah, it's a mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and action. But it's just the location that wins, and the traversal you do, you can be piloting vehicles, there's anti-gravity sequences, really claustrophobic moments, great fun. Now, I will drop my review down below for you all, but my thoughts on this game are generally, I played it years ago with its original PlayStation release, revisited it on the Switch as well, of course, for that review, but the gameplay is just so unique in its setting, because it takes you onto the surface, you're inside different labs, the opening moments, you're in a spaceship doing the launch sequence, and honestly, I think it's one of the most immersive sequences in video games in recent memory. A few complaints, visually it's definitely taken a hit on the Switch. It can look a little bit, let's say rocky at times, definitely rough around the edges. Obviously it's a small team as well. Also, the first person sequences, because you get that 360 movement, for some that might lead to some motion sickness. It got me actually a little bit queasy at points as a warning, which is very rare for me as well. Outside of that though, there is a sequel, Deliver Us Mars, not on the Switch yet. I'm hoping Switch 2, I played that on PlayStation as well. And they're actually now working on a third game as well. So it's great to see this series getting the love it deserves. This game was announced years ago for the Switch. It disappeared, was cancelled, then out of nowhere it dropped. So it's really good to get it, and I hope it gets the support and the love it deserves. Our winners of the week then for the two $10 eShop gift cards are Veritas, who highlighted the Chernobylite sale, and Andrew, who gave us a whole list of games on sale. So congrats on the win both. Email me for the codes, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in this Saturday's video. Cocoon then is our final game of the video. It's 40% off, matching its lowest price, and this puzzle adventure is truly something special. Gonna keep it spoiler free to let you experience, I guess, its brilliance firsthand, but it's from the mind behind Limbo and Inside, and it takes you on a journey across worlds within worlds. So basically each world exists inside an orb that you can carry on your back, and the gameplay revolves around leaping between these worlds to solve intricate puzzles. You'll basically manipulate orbs to uncover hidden pathways, activate mechanisms, and combine their unique abilities to progress. The environment's so stunning. It's kind of biomechanical designs with almost industrial ruins, organic locations, and along the way you'll encounter monstrous guardians, each requiring mechanics to overcome. It's a game that just masterfully combines creativity and challenge. It is a standout for fans of unique, thought-provoking adventures. It's one of my favourites on the system personally in the genre. It looks absolutely incredible, and yeah, I can't say a negative thing about this game. It is something special. The soundtrack is beautiful as well. And that is the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week? Let me know in the comments. Then a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists weekly, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers all.